How's it going, everybody? The Seer here, and today we are going to be going over the Battleworld Battle Report. I'm calling this the Battle Report on my end. Basically what this is I created 5 spreadsheets to go through Zone 1 through 5 as far as the optimal teams for you to use for these nodes. Now, I know it doesn't really seem like much right now because the difficulty really hasn't ramped up yet, so it doesn't really matter on who you really slot in as long as you meet the requirements. However, as we get to the higher difficulties, this is going to ramp up and it is going to be mattering on who you use in those nodes because of what we have to use in our spec ops. The elite missions are kind of a set thing, so they're not going to be on here. The herald missions, I do have those. Now, I do not have a spreadsheet or infographic currently for the boss node, just because we just finished difficulty 3. Difficulty 4 and 5 is going to be a different monster as far as what null is. I think we're still going to lean a little bit into the bleed RNG meta that we're currently doing right now. However, it is going to change a bit because of the difficulty of how hard null is going to be hitting, so these bleed extend characters aren't going to be surviving as long. So I am doing videos every time I do the null boss battle. I'm streaming on that Saturday and usually trying to get it to where I can get that video uploaded. That way people can really take advantage of what we learned for that day. I do a lot of testing on those if you haven't noticed already. So let's go ahead and get to the infographics. So this is for Zone 1, and as you see, I have it set down to where it has Node 1, Node 2, and Node 3, the Herald mission. The middle section is going to be what bonuses they're going to be getting. Now, the requirement is going to be City for Node 1, Superior 6 are going to be the bonus characters for what they get in that middle row that you see on there. And they're going to be counting as Cosmic Crucible. So for the Superior 6 tunes, the easiest thing to do is try to slot in your Sinister 6 characters. Because if you take any of the Superior 6 out, they're really modular on how you can slot Sinister 6 in. They work great that way. Now, if you are using Dorky Dad's spreadsheet, and a good alternative that you can do is use your new warriors because they do have Cosmic Crucible bonuses. I know it's not optimal to really build up your new warriors. However, because the power level that's on these nodes, they should do fine depending on what level and power you have your new warriors at. They usually can punch up quite a bit in Cosmic Crucible. The mobs that's on there don't look too terrible. So I think if you have a decently built new warriors team, they should work just fine for you. For Node 2, the required characters are going to be Spider-Verse. Spider Society will be getting the bonuses that you see in the middle row. They are going to be getting their raid bonuses. Now, my current alliance, we do the fractured method where you take about 2 or 3 characters, you send them in spec ops, and then we can just kind of put fillers in. That's been working really well for us. Now, for the second node, because the Spider-Verse does include the Spider Society and Hive Mind, it isn't terrible if you have to send your full Spider Society on the spec ops, and then you just have it to where you can use your Hive Mind. So that is definitely an option. You just have to kind of manage and see how your alliance is handling this. For Node 3, which is that Herald mission, the requirement is going to be the Cosmic characters. Annihilators will be getting the bonuses for Raid and Arena. Now, because of the Cosmic requirement, the best characters for this, unfortunately, are going to be the Dark Dimension characters, which is going to be Super Skrull, Mephisto, Odin. That's usually who I slot in those. Another good option that you can use here is going to be Kang. He's going to be able to get that speed advantage to the entire team. He does it turn meter rewind, slows. He's a very good plug-and-play character that you can slot into this. So if you have Super Skrull and Kang and you only had to send 2 characters out, that's definitely a go-to if you don't have that Mephisto or Odin. Now for Zone 2. Node 1 is going to be requiring the Villain and Global. The bonuses are going to be for the Cabal team, and they're going to be getting their Cosmic Crucible bonuses. Now, one of the bonuses that this team gets is going to make it to where Doom, Loki, Emma Frost, and Ares will be gaining that Cabal trait. So I've just been using the Cabal team and then grabbing from that pool of characters. That way they can get those Cabal bonuses. Now, another good alternative if you are sending out the full team is going to be using your Orcus team. They are villain, they are global, and they're a very good newer team to where they can really take advantage of this. For Node 2, this is a little bit different. The requirements characters are going to be mutants. The Alpha Flight team only has 3 mutants, so that means that you can't use Guardian or Sasquatch because one is tech, one is bio. Now, because this is mutant and the raid rules are active, the Extreme X-Men work very well in here. So depending on who you send out, you can definitely use from that pool. Another good option is going to be Apocalypse. You don't really need him in any of the other portions. You can definitely use him in Node 1, but because of that Cabal trait, you can definitely use him in Node 2 as well. For Node 3, this is going to be that Herald mission. You do have to use the Mercenary characters, and the bonuses will be for the Mercs for Money team. The War and Raid bonuses are active for this. Now, this one here is going to be a little bit tricky and a feel bad. Depending on who you have to send out, Taskmaster is going to be the first one that you can sub in because he does get those assist mechanics that you can kind of work off of Dakin. The Merc Lieutenant for the healing or Killmonger, if you have them built up, those are going to be the only other 2 options I can really find for this one. So you really have to manage and see how your alliance is handling these spec ops for Zone 2, because if you have to send out these Mercs or money characters, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to slot some of these other characters in. Hopefully we can get that rework if Taskmaster is part of that voting portion. For Thunderbolts, he'd be a great option to really get the stat rework so you can slot him in here, mainly for this node. For Zone 3, Node 1 is going to be requiring Skill or Mystic or Bio. The Annihilators will be getting the bonuses here, and they will get their Arena bonuses too, which is great. Now, because this is Skill, Mystic, or Bio, the best options to really slot in are going to be those Dark Dimension characters again, which is Super Skrull, Mephisto, or Odin, if you do have those characters unlocked. Otherwise, just kind of look through your pool, and hopefully your alliance doesn't send too many of the Annihilators out for you guys. For for Node 2, this is going to be Hero and Global or Controller characters that's going to be required here. Now, the Out of Time team is going to be getting their war bonuses that you see on here. Now, because this is Hero and Global or Controller, that really leaves it where you can use your Mercs for Money characters minus Death Pool, which is perfectly fine. So whoever you send out, just start sliding in your Mercs for Money, and you can get a lot of mileage out of them because of this. For Node 3, the Herald mission, this is going to be Global or Epic or Legendary, and Illuminati will be getting the bonuses here. They're also going to be getting their Cosmic Crucible bonuses, which is great. So because they are getting the Cosmic Crucible bonuses, you can really slot in if you only have the 4-piece of the Illuminati team. You can fit Black Bolt in there as the 5th, and once you get Black Bolt, you can take him out, or you can take Iron Man out. You can kind of use this however you want to your advantage. Because this is the Herald mission, it's just a 5 vs 5. It's not going to be too big. So you really want to see if you want to get the crit damage that the Iron Man gives you, or if you really want the health and the burps that Black Bolt gives you for this. Now, as far as the add-in characters that you can use on here, I put on here the 2 legendary characters for the Superior 6 because they do get the Cosmic Crucible bonuses. Nightcrawler is a really good option in here because he has that global tag. Black Cat, she will fit in pretty well in here, or Apocalypse. So there's definitely a lot of options to go with the global or epic or legendary. So just kind of manage this and slot in however you see fit. These are the best 5 I feel as far as plug and play with the Illuminati team. For Zone 4, Node 1 is going to be Bio or Asgardian. Now, this is going to be giving your Undying the war bonuses, which is pretty big. So I put the 4-piece on here, and the next 3 that's really good to slot in, that's going to be Bio or Asgardian. Odin is Asgardian, so he's a given that you can throw him in there. For Bio, you can go with Super Skrull, or you can go with Nova. Now, a good replacement on here, if you end up slotting too many into Spec Ops, is using your Hive Mind team. Even though they don't get the war bonuses, they are all Bio. and they can really ramp up because of the power level of the enemies on the node, to where the carnage speed just kind of keeps them going throughout the entire thing. For node 2, this is going to be the Horseman or Marvel Strike Force Original or Apocalypse. This one here is really cool. I actually like this one a lot because it really opens a door and gives you a lot of theory crafting options. So we do have the 4 MSF original characters, and depending on who gets sent out on the Spec Ops mission, you just need to slot in whichever Horseman. The ones I find the most useful are going to be Red Hulk, because he's going to be able to speed up Apocalypse. Morgan is really good because she gives the health bonuses to them, or you can use Rogue to get that extra controlling ability. Archangel, unfortunately, I don't see a lot of value out of him. I can kind of see it a little bit because of the power of the enemies on the node, so it's really easy to get the kills and keep Archangel pings and rewinds going, so that is definitely an option. For node 3, this is going to be that Herald boss mission. The required characters are going to be X-Men, and the bonuses are going to be to the Extreme X-Men, where they get their raid bonuses. Now, instead of Cyclops, you can definitely slot in like Old Man Logan, but I want to put the full 5-man team on here because it really matters on who you send on Spec Ops, then who you sub in. The 2 given that I found is going to be, say, Old Man Logan or Rogue. They work really well with the Extreme X-Men team. However, with the X-Men tag, you can use Wolverine and Sunfire because they do have those raid bonuses because of the Spotlight raid. So those are good options to slot in with the Extreme X-Men as well. So just kind of play with that however you see fit. You can even use Rogue and Sunfire because they do have a unlimited X-Men synergy. So I like this node a lot too because of the theory crafting that it allows you to do. Now we have Zone 5. So this one here has that bonus mission. We're going to end up talking about that towards the end of this zone over here. So for node 1, this is going to be city or support. Hivemind's going to be getting the raid bonuses here. And what you can end up doing, because it is or support, it's really easy to just take Venom off the team and slot Apocalypse in. But because of these Spec Ops, you really need to see who you are taking out, and then you can always throw the Apocalypse or the Spider Society characters in as the alternative. Or just like what we did with the Zone 1, I believe, you can send the full Hivemind team on the Spec Ops, and then use your Spider Society characters plus Apocalypse type of thing as an option too. For node 2, this is going to be Villain and Tech, and the Orcus team will begin their raid bonuses here. Now, just like what we did before, whoever you take out, you can use Iron Patriot or Kang. Those are kind of my 2 go-tos. The alternatives would be using your Sinister or Superior 6 Tech characters. That would end up being Mysterio, Vulture, Doc Ock, and Green Goblin Classic. They are all tech and can work really well together. So that could be something where you send your Orcus team out, then you can use that mix of the Sinister Superior 6 plus Kang or Iron Patriot. Those would be really good options for you too. For node 3, this is going to be the Herald mission, and it's Hero and Mystic Night Stalkers get their raid bonuses. Now, because Agatha is a villain, she's not able to be worked in here. As far as good options for you to kind of slot in and use with this team, Deathpool is going to be kind of a given. She still has her raid bonuses to where she can really speed up the team even faster than what they already are in raids. Ghost Rider Robbie can work pretty well because all the bleeds that can kind of be put out there by Oath. Captain Britain is a really good character to where he has a lot of control with the stuns, the traumas, and everything. Or even Black Panther Shuri, because she does a lot of bleeds too. So if you have to take 2 characters off, or 2 characters off, you can slot in, say, Deathpool, Robbie, and Black Panther Shuri. That's going to be a really good bleed raid team that you can end up using here. For node 4, this is that bonus mission for the Asgardians, and you have to basically use Odin here. It says that's a bonus. However, in my alliance, the players that didn't have Odin, they really struggled. They could barely even get through one wave. A lot of them really wasn't able to do that too. So this really feels like you have to use Odin here, and that's what's really going to separate the leaderboard. Now, Odin's bonus that he gives to the team to where on his basic attack, all Asgardian allies gain 4 energy. That is huge. So basically, every time he uses his bonus or he clears the wave, he gives the 4 energy to the team, and that really can speed up, say, Vol or Sylvie to do those turn meter rewinds. This was really tuned around Odin. That's basically what this comes down to. So once you get Odin, you can use your Bifrost characters. I don't think Hela can work as well just because of the complexity of what the Bifrost brings to each other. Team Loki seems like he's very important as well because his passive to where on a Cosmic Hero, I believe it is, once they take the turn, Safeguard goes on your entire team. So there's a Cosmo on the other side of the field. As soon as he goes, you end up getting your Safeguard up, and that really helps protect you even longer. Sylvie with the turn meter rewinds, follow with whatever she does. Loki being able to get the team in stealth and do mind control damage on this. It's very impactful. So I found that this was the best team to actually use here. But that is the infographics that I ended up doing for this. Now, as I mentioned before, with the boss node for Null, this is going to be really changing. So we're going to end up going in game. I want to kind of show you what teams I used for difficulty 3 and what I think will actually happen when we get up to difficulty 4 and 5. Okay, so we are currently in game right now, and this is basically looking at the Battleworld difficulty selection. So we just finished doing difficulty 3, and as you see, the character requirement level was level 95. Gear tier 18, 6 yellow, 6 red. Blue ISO 4 were basically what was recommended for us. For difficulty 4, for what we're going to be going into this week, we have characters level recommendation of level 100, G19, 77 at a blue 5. Once we get past this difficulty, which we do need to hit, I believe it was 5 million. I'm going to double check that here in a second. We're going to end up going into difficulty 4 after, or difficulty 5. And on here, you see it's level 100, G19, 7 yellow, 3 diamond. So we're going straight from 7 red to 3 diamond and purple 3 as far as what's going to be kind of recommended for us. So the teams that we use for difficulty 3, it should still be okay for difficulty 4 as far as what's recommended. We can see the enemy stat changes on here. It's going to be going from level 25 or plus 25 levels. So it's going to be adding on 10 more levels, 3 more gear tier where it's going to be 19 max. The star rank is going to be higher. So this right here, I think is going to be okay. We can't really see the enemy stat bonus on here. It looks like that might be the same. But for us to be able to get to difficulty 4, we had to hit 2.5 million, I believe, was what was set on here. Then we have to go up to 6.5 million on here. But the teams that we ended up using, if we end up going to our saved squads, I have it saved here. I ended up using this RNG bleed team for the difficulty 3 boss. This did really good. It has chances to break over 200 million, and then we found out if you take Robbie out for Adam Warlockin, you can actually break 300 million power. The second team I ended up using was Undying Odin. That one, it felt worse using that one from the normal difficulty to the difficulty 3 that we just did. I don't see this one really surviving as long. This one here was very interesting because we have 2 characters that have the new stat rework. Apocalypse, he should still be fine, paying for that barrier removal and getting that flat 3% damage. That's going to be very impactful on difficulty 4 and 5. Rogue, she was mainly there just to kind of help out Apocalypse, take some of the beatings and everything. I could see this one still holding up, which leaves it to where the Astral team is. Now, looking at the kits for the Astral team, they don't have any barrier clearing on there. It really relies on the percent damage and Shadow King doing the pings for the damage. During the Strike Spot video, I did watch that again as far as the fight goes. Pathfinder ended up doing about 115 to 125 million damage on there for difficulty 5. So I don't know how that's going to end up working. We might end up taking out one of the characters, throwing somebody else in that can really help out with the barrier clear or give some extra support. Maybe we can throw Odin in there to just give the team extra survivability, and his ultimate does clear barrier. We're going to have to really do some theory crafting. I don't see the full 5-man team being together for that null boss fight, but I did want to give you guys a heads up about the battle world, show you guys what to do as far as the zones. You can see right here for our alliance, what we've been doing has been working. We're currently ranked 65 for the season, so shout out to Fantastic Four. They're doing an awesome job. We're pulling together, helping each other out, and hopefully you guys are as well. Feel free to use those infographics. I'll get those uploaded on my Discord. I usually wait about 24 to 48 hours, so that should be up there on maybe Tuesday. In the meantime, just take screenshots, do whatever, share it with the community. I really don't care. I just like to wait a little bit before I get those uploaded. Now, if you did enjoy this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day.